Inflammation often gets a bad rap in health circles these days, but it's important to note and remember that not all inflammation is bad. Some inflammation is both good and necessary to maintain good health. You see, inflammation is a defense mechanism of your body. As your immune system recognizes damaged cells, irritants, and pathogens, it begins the healing process. And inflammation is the body's attempt at self-protection to remove the harmful stimuli and begin that very healing process. When something harmful or irritating affects part of our body, the biological response is to try to remove it. Infections, wounds, and any damage to tissue would not be able to heal without an inflammatory response. Now, however, where inflammation becomes harmful is when it becomes chronic. Chronic inflammation happens when the body's natural healing process of inflammation continues long after the original response was first needed. While it's a relatively complicated process, inflammation becomes chronic if your internal alarm fails to shut off when it should. This ends up allowing chronic inflammation to destroy healthy tissue and create related symptoms and disease. Frankly, at the end of the day, it's inflammation that will eventually take all of our lives, barring an accidental early death. Because whether someone has cancer, heart disease, diabetes, digestive disorders, autoimmune disease, or even Alzheimer's, it all starts with inflammation at the cellular level, which leads either to early cell death, translating into specific organ and gland diseases, or into cancer stem cell simulations, which fuels cancer cell growth and metastasis. But the good news is, through your diet, you can, in many cases, control inflammation while improving and optimizing your health. Now, the foods that are most inflammatory and thus should be avoided whenever possible are, number one, sugar. Now, according to a review in the Journal of Endocrinology, when we eat too much sugar, the excess glucose, which our body can't process quickly enough, can increase levels of pro-inflammatory messengers called cytokines. Sugar also suppresses the effectiveness of our white blood cells' germ-killing ability and weakens our immune system and makes us more susceptible to infectious diseases. The second most inflammatory food is vegetable oils. Because these vegetable oils have a high concentration of the inflammatory fat omega-6, and they are low in the anti-inflammatory fat omega-3. Vegetable oils to avoid are soy, corn, sunflower, safflower, or palm oil. The third most inflammatory is fried food. Vegetable oil fried foods and processed foods that contain high levels of inflammatory advanced glycation end products, AGEs for short. Now, these are compounds that form when products are cooked at a high temperature, pasteurized, dried, smoked, fried, or grilled. Most common culprits are fried foods like French fries, fried chicken, chicken wings, fish sticks, chicken tenders, onion rings. Now, coming in number 4 on the most inflammatory food list is refined flours. Refined flours have been stripped of their slow-digesting fiber and nutrients, which means your body can break them down from the ingredients very quickly. The more quickly your body digests the glucose-containing foods, like these carbs, the faster your blood sugar levels can spike, which also spikes your insulin levels, a compound which is associated with a pro-inflammatory response. Items like these include pizza, white bread, crackers, pasta, pretzels, flour tortillas, breakfast cereals, and bagels. Now, the 5th most inflammatory food is dairy. Go ahead and see the lesson on dairy to learn all the details. And number 6 would be artificial sweeteners, commonly found in things like diet sodas and no sugar added products. Now, I've included a list of all these plus more foods that cause inflammation for you to download and review. But now that we know what foods are most inflammatory, let's take a look at the foods that are most anti-inflammatory. Now, these things include things like dark leafy greens, including spinach and kale, also blueberries and blackberries, broccoli, cauliflower, avocados, coconut, extra virgin olive oil, walnuts, pistachios, almonds, pine nuts, turmeric, cinnamon, dark chocolate, and even red wine, in moderation as well. So that gives you a great roadmap to follow when it comes to knowing which foods to avoid and which to eat in order to reduce and minimize chronic inflammation.